Hi, how do you talk about someone you call your hero? Hi, this is Ethel Phelan, and I would like to tell you about my hero. My sister Mabel or Mabel um, is was my hero. We were a year apart. I loved her so much, and she loved me very much. We were like twins. One night, while I was in Denver, Colorado for a financing real estate seminar, I got a call that my sister was in a coma at a hospital about 2 hours away from um, the island where we were born. I was whoa shocked, and I didn't know what to do, what to say. I asked if I could still talk to her, and they said yes. We will put the telephone in her ears, and then you can talk to her. She will not be able to talk to you, but she can still understand. So I talked to her. I tried to be brave, and I said, sis, please be strong for me, okay? I will be there. I am coming, and I just want you to be there. Be strong. I couldn't talk anymore. I was already crying, and I hung up. So during the night, she died. The next day, I went home, and I tried to book a flight, and it was not possible for 2 year for another 2 days. When I came, when I arrived, she was already at the house in a casket and with lots of people, talking about her, talking about this and that, and all that. And I looked at her and I said, "Why? We were so close, and we should be. I should be able to know. We had synchronicity. We had a very close sister relationship, and I should have known whether you know you need you need me." So it was very painful, and I say, well, I always thought that if two people or two or more people are very close to each other, their synchronicity will be able to reach to each one, to each of them when they need the other one. It's like death or coming or very sick and all that, and it happened. Let me tell you about my father, who was in the same situation, and he was in the local hospital, and he was in a coma, and so people were already watching him and all that, and then he woke up. So that was a miracle. And he told a story about his two dead cousins. He didn't say dead. He just said his two cousins came to pick him up, and they walk and walk and walk in the desert. And then the two cousins walked very fast, and then they lost him. He could not keep up with them. After walking that much, trying to keep up with them, he could not do it. And he woke up very thirsty or something, and the doctor gave him something, but he was okay. He was able to talk and to tell the story and all that. While before that, he was in a coma. So they brought him home, and he was okay. But during that time, he was at the hospital. They called me, and I booked right away, and I came, and everything was all right. He got well. He was eating well, and he was talking well. He was even walking. So after several weeks, I had to leave back to I was very, very busy in my real estate business. And because we had a boat to take very early in the morning, I woke up at 4 o'clock. I went to my father's room, and there he was sitting up. And he's got this look in his eyes. He knew that I was leaving. He got this very warm look, very loving, and he didn't say anything. I couldn't say anything. So I just went to him. I held his hands, looked into his eyes, and then I kissed him on the forehead. Then I left. When I was at the airplane, inside the airplane, and we were up in the sky, I could see my father's face. It was so beautiful, very warm, and very loving. I could see his face all the time. So, back to my sister, I said, why did it happen with my father? Why didn't it happen with my sister? I was expecting that I would be called that she was at the hospital, and then I would come, and then she would get well. And we would be, happy again. We're always laughing, telling my stories to her, and she just couldn't get enough of all my stories. It didn't happen. So she was buried, and she was my hero. I remember all those things that made us very close to each other. She did a research on what college would be the best for me. That, no matter how much expensive or whatever. And luckily I had good grades and good recommendation on this hospital, but she was the one who did all the study. And she told me that in spite of being a rich school and all that, there is, thanks to the German nuns who was running the school, there was a lot of, camaraderie, and that's what my sister liked in that particular school. So anyway, we, she was that generous that whenever I came home, whatever new things she had, she would give them to me. We would always be together. We'd always be, telling stories and all that. When I was back in the States, and my husband and I had difficulty with keeping the home, she called me and she said she was retiring with really good money, and she would give them to me to pay off the what we needed. And I said, it's not gonna happen. So I said no. And I said, what would my brother say and the other families? But that doesn't really worry me. The thing is that she was a retiree, and she would need she would need us money, of course. And it was not like the end of the world for my husband and me. We could still do something. But anyway, when we were at the house, not when we were at the house, one day, soon I was going to have another baby, our second baby. And I didn't, like my husband lost his job, and I had a school already. I opened the school there, kindergarten for the expats, and I do not have a helper. So without my knowing, she applied the school for a 1 year off, and she came. She was there to help with the baby, because after the baby, then I get back to running the school, my own school. I had 2 teachers, And then she, you know, she took care of my daughter and also the house. You know, for a year she did that for me. And I cannot remember any time that I had done the same thing. But anyway, when she died, of course, now I'm my hero. I did not expect something. I went back home because after doing the short sale for 10 years straight with the bank, I got burned. I was really tired, so I needed to take a vacation, and I went to the same island. There, I found out about my assets that I have not done anything. So I went to do what I wanted to do, to have a cocoa plantation. I did that all by myself, always like that. And I wish my sister was alive. She would have been very proud of me. But when I went to the island, nobody knew me anymore. My parents died. My sister died. My brothers are not there. My cousins were younger than me, and I'm sure they didn't know me. So I had a hard time. But whenever I needed something and they would ask who I was, I would say, I am Mom, Mabel's sister. And they would do right away. They would help me right away because most of them, the young people there, they were students of my sister. And they all said the same thing. She was most loving. She was most generous. You know, she would give money to get some students go to school or whatever. You know, she would do everything. You know, she doesn't have any single, you know, mean bone in her body. So that was she saved me a lot of the things there that people don't know me. I couldn't get any help. And when I say that I am the sister of Mabel Oliveros, they know right away. Just even if I am on a sort of tricycle or wherever, where are you going, Mom? And I would say Mabel, Mom Mabel's house. They knew, everybody there knew, and they would give me attention because of my sister. And so she saved me, even in her death. That's what's being a hero to someone. Okay, that's my story. My sister was my hero.